Donald Trump's bold promise to bring down grocery prices, a central theme of his campaign rhetoric, is starting to unravel as reality sets in. Throughout his campaign, Trump repeatedly claimed that, if elected, he would lower grocery prices dramatically, linking it directly to the economic struggles many Americans were facing under President Joe Biden. "Your incomes will soar, your grocery prices will come tumbling down," Trump vowed in one of his campaign speeches. The idea was simple: vote for Trump, and everything from your food bill to energy costs would drop. His frequent use of the word groceries became a talking point in his speeches, with Trump speaking about it with almost childlike wonder, as if he had discovered an everyday word that encapsulated all of America's financial struggles. However, as Trump moves into his second term, it appears that the reality of lowering prices is far more complicated than he led voters to believe. His economic plan includes imposing sweeping tariffs on goods imported from countries with which the U.S. has strained trade relationships. These tariffs, according to economists, will likely raise the cost of goods rather than reduce them. Despite this, Trump initially brushed off concerns, insisting that tariffs wouldn't result in higher prices for consumers. In a recent interview with Meet the Press, he was asked whether tariffs would increase costs for Americans. Trump's response? "I can't guarantee anything," admitting that, despite his earlier assurances, there was no certainty that the tariffs would not lead to higher prices for consumers. This admission marked a shift from his previous certainty about what he could deliver, showing that he is starting to understand the complexities of the economic promises he made. In another interview with Time for his Man of the Year cover story, Trump faced more pointed questions about his ability to keep his grocery price promise. Asked if his presidency would be a failure if grocery prices didn't go down, Trump responded, "I don't think so." His reasoning? "It's hard to bring things down once they're up," he said, acknowledging the challenge of reversing inflationary trends. He continued to deflect blame, attributing the rise in grocery prices to a broken supply chain, among other factors, and hinted that what they're doing with the cars was part of the problem, although it wasn't entirely clear how that related to grocery costs. Despite initially claiming that he would win on groceries and bring down prices quickly, Trump's rhetoric is beginning to shift as he faces the realities of governing. His once confident assertions are now tempered by excuses, with Trump pointing to external factors like supply chain issues and inflation as reasons for the inability to lower prices. What started as a promise to fix America's financial struggles by simply reversing grocery price hikes is now morphing into a series of justifications and pivots. The situation underscores a recurring pattern for Trump, where the complexity of the issues he addresses often clashes with the simplicity of his solutions. As his second term begins, it seems likely that Trump will continue to grapple with the challenge of meeting the lofty expectations he set during his campaign. The one thing that can be predicted about his next 4 years in office is that there will be more promises, more reversals, and more shifts in rhetoric, especially when it comes to delivering on promises like reducing grocery prices. It remains to be seen how Trump will navigate the gap between what he promised voters and what is actually achievable in the complex world of economic policy.